And then there were none. No unbeaten teams left. I went through the schedule on Friday night and I tried to pick out games that I might want to look at, check in on. I could hardly find any. I only found one that really intrigued me: San Francisco, Cleveland. The rest of the games were terrible. And it played out that way because I track all these games during Sunday afternoon and Sunday morning early starts. Miserable football, field goal kicking contest, turnovers. Oh, it was just awful. And then we get to Sunday night and we have an upset and then a near upset in the final game on the weekend. I tried to figure out how could all these games be so bad simultaneously. Conclusion had to be the eclipse. It was a lot of lousy football yesterday. Okay, let's start about the last unbeaten going down the drain. 49ers lose to the Browns. Jake Moody misses 2 field goals, had been rock solid up to that point. Michigan rookie went left, went right. 49ers winning streak over. Brock Purdy's winning streak over. Now they're hurt on top of getting hurt by the Cleveland Browns. They lose Christian McCaffrey, oblique injury. Deebo Samuel re-injures his shoulder. Offensive line could not protect Brock Purdy. He really had anemic numbers. He kind of looked panic-stricken. He manages games, but he didn't manage the pass rush very well. 125 yards passing, touchdown, interception. They just didn't play very well in that game. And then how in the world do you explain the 49ers losing to an unemployed refugee quarterback from the XFL by the name of P.J. Walker, who was running around with his hair on fire, throwing into all types of coverage, got balls picked, should have had other balls picked, probably could have had 5 picked in the game, but he got Cleveland the win. And it's a Cleveland team that doesn't have its quarterback, does not have its top heavy-duty running back, but it does have its defense. And its defense really beat the 49ers off the ball. I mean, it was a bad game. Now, that was not the only one. Then the Eagles who are in the Super Bowl, lose to the Jets. And they lose to their quarterback, Zach Wilson. You got to be kidding me. Jets played out of their mind. They got after Jalen Hurts. He threw 3 interceptions. He was throwing balls into coverage that you don't think a Super Bowl quarterback would do. I mean, it was really a stunning Jets power defensive win over Philadelphia. And then we got to Sunday Night Football, and you got the lowly New York Giants, who have virtually no offensive line. The quarterback is hurt. The Giants ramped it up defensively and went after Josh Allen. The Giants nearly knocked the Bills off. They knocked Josh Allen's offense out of rhythm during the course of the game. They got killed at the end of the first half, killed at the end of the second half. Brian Daboll and his quarterback and his play calling, they had the ball at the 1-yard line. The final possession of first half, could not score, could not get the play off. Final possession in the game to win the game that turned out to be a field goal kicking contest, could not put it in the end zone because of formation problems, etc. So the Giants lost that game, not so much that the Bills won the game. And then you got the Raiders, New England. Thank you, Daniel Carlson. Who's he? Longtime Raider kicker. He saved their bacon in a game that they could have lost at home. Jimmy Garoppolo plays the game, manages the game, gets hurt playing the game. He's got a back injury. They fear there might be some type of internal damage also from the back injury. Your guy, Brian Hoyer, third string, 38-year-old, should be filing for Medicare soon. Comes off the bench, throws for 122, and the Raiders somehow beat New England, and New England is now 1-5 on the season. And Mac Jones played better, but not enough to win the game. So it was, in all honesty, it was the strangest weekend. I'm glad I didn't go out to look at the eclipse. I just saw it on my TV. It was really bad football. Reaction.
So, hey, Cleveland fan, how does it feel to wake up and feel good the next day? I mean, it's been a long time for Browns fans to feel good about their team. This was a huge win for them, especially at home in the dog pound. So what a game. And isn't it remarkable that Brock Purdy with the exception of the NFC Championship game, has been undefeated as a starter. And really, in that championship game last year, he was out after what, 5 or 6
Yep.
plays, so does that really even count? I mean, he's been more or less undefeated. So you figure at some point they were going to have a bad game, and that we talked about the Cleveland defense and how good they were on holding teams on third downs, and the completion percentage was so low. So it surprised me, but it didn't surprise me that the Niners finally lost.
Well, San Francisco just wasn't the same. And of course, when you lose CMC at running back and you lose Debo at wide receiver, now all of a sudden it's a very different offense. And Purdy couldn't handle the rush, and the offensive line just got beat off the ball. And they blitzed up inside through the gaps. They beat him off the edge. I mean, the quarterback was under siege. So it was a surprising substandard performance by San Francisco. But when you lose 2 of your 3 superstars, that probably is the description as to why that happened.